Good morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, it's Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to Space Letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Wake up time!
Coffee.
Part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Thank God it's Friday.
And a happy Friday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. My name is Josh Corey, and I'm joined this morning by some very good friends and co-hosts. Starting off with Mr. L.C. King. Lucas, how has your week been?
It's been good. Just been working on the garden. The weather's been pretty average. But I'm enjoying the little bit of cool weather and getting an excuse to go inside and play on my computer and do some music and stuff. So anyway, but yeah, my head's been spinning, really. I've been looking at this water stuff. We'll get into that a bit later. But so I was sort of stuck with how I was thinking about things. And then this is a new little rabbit hole for me to chase and enjoy it when I have something to dig my teeth into.
Yeah, it was one of those when I heard it. It was just everything was coming at me with things that we had talked about on this show or Have No Sphere or other things. That the whole episode was just like an IRM based show. And I dropped it in chat, just anticipating you just gobbling it up. And I'll be damned if you didn't miss my posting of that video. And it was like a week later, you found it. You're like, hey, check this out. I'm like, yeah, that's really cool.
It must have been a timing thing. Hey?
Great. That's awesome.
But we'll introduce everyone before we get started with that stuff.
All right, let's knock this out so we can jump back into that. Let's say hello to Mr. Who was next? Walter was next. Mr. Walter Johnson, a.k.a. Flat Earth Head here on YouTube. Walter, how you doing?
Howdy. I was not aware we were doing this in order of appearance.
In order of appearance, that's right. That's
like
how the cast goes.
An old sitcom. Right. That's what's up. How are you all? Good morning to all of you. Afternoon, evening, it's something there wherever you are. Lucas's edge out there, something, whatever. Not sure, upside down, backwards, time traveling for damn sure. Anyway, yeah, I started it after the second posting, and I'm still playing catch up. I never have time to sit and watch videos, it seems, anymore like I used to. So,
well, it is audio, so you need not I can shoot you an MP3 if you need to. That way you can listen to it on the go.
Word. I never have time, but I will try.
Yeah.
All I've been listening, there's this new jam out there. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but I've got some new jam, and it's been locking me up. That's all I'm saying.
Nothing like getting immersed
But yeah, good
into
week.
some
The
new
cat's
music.
getting the kittens are getting bigger. They're moving around more. They still are not quite. Their eyes aren't open, and we're trying to be good little parents and not start messing with them too early. So, but yeah, we're all chomping at the bits. 2 of them had gotten quite far from her yesterday to the point they were lost and mewling and where's mom? So they're already exploring on their own. So that's cool. But yeah, it's been a definite change. The energy in the house is just awesome. Feels good every time she comes purring under my feet, and it's amazing. So anyone who hasn't jumped into the pet pool or back into it as I've done, get in there. It's awesome.
Yeah, there's something about cats. Something, I don't know, supernatural. It's no wonder those Egyptians
right?
were so...
Her just hits you. It's oh, what was I worried about? Shit, I'm just chilling with you, dude. That's purr.
That's it. I do miss mine. All right, let's say hello to Mr. Zachary Zabala, Z Squared. You may know him as Good Times for All here on the YouTubes. Zach, how you feeling, sir? You awake?
I am awake. I got a couple ounces of coffee in me, so I'm feeling the juices flowing. Yeah, good week. The neighbors on both sides have been, I don't know if they get together and play rock, paper, scissors on who gets me next. But yeah, they've been keeping me busy this week. It's been fun. I got to hang out with the 81-year-old Vietnam veteran. Reminds me so much of my uncle. And real quiet guy, just like my uncle. Doesn't talk a whole lot, but when he does, you want to listen. It's good advice probably, or there's some wisdom in there. And he swore in front of me. We were in his van going down the highway to go to this glass company, and he dropped the F-bomb. I was like, yeah, we're starting to be buddies now. He's not, that was the first time he's ever swore in front of me, the guys do. So it was cool. Me and him we're becoming buds now. It's fun.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it feels good to be neighborly, and he doesn't like it because I don't charge him very much, to help him out. Whatever I tell him, he usually doubles it. But I told him, I was like, I do this because more or less, I don't get to go help and take care of my mom now. I'm far away. I don't get to do all the stuff I used to do for her. So it feels good to help somebody. Now, if he was younger, my age or younger, I probably wouldn't even help him unless, he paid me well. But this is more of a, it's a neighborly thing. It's a respect thing for my elders. It's, taking care of those that can't do it themselves. And I think that's, that's a big thing that's missing in this society. It's out there for sure, but it's not as prominent as it should be, especially with our youth. I think taking care of our elders is a big responsibility, and people have been slacking a lot lately. There's a lot of older people out there that just need someone to come over and chat with them sometimes. That's what I've been doing on the other side, driving them around a lot, and then just hanging out. 91 and 67, stuck inside their house a lot because they're scared. So yeah, it's been an awesome week. Just hanging out, getting to know the neighbors better, and yeah, good times.
Nice, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's, you can't pay me enough to make that feeling happen. That's just something that's like, more than a payment in itself right there.
Yeah, I sort of do the same thing. I have to deliver meals for old ladies around the town. You know, they order the meals and stuff, but they're super happy to see me and get a hot meal. And yeah, I get what you're saying for sure.
Well, you know what's sad is the thing that you're implying and talking about there is the lack of attention that these older people get, not just from society, but from their own family members sometimes. And then I think back to my stupid ass who had grandmothers and grandfathers who like had farms, had like taught me, were trying to teach me all that stuff because they knew it would be something I needed eventually, I guess. And here I am, like wanting to go play and wanting to go whatever. And this is way before video games or any of that shit, but still just not wanting to work, wanting to play. I was a kid. And then when they're gone, you go, oh shit, I missed so much knowledge. What did I do? It's all gone. You're so stupid when you realize what you had and missed on these older people. And I think that push of putting them in the corner, putting them in the home, letting someone else take care of their needs, even though they took care of your needs when you couldn't, you can't take care of their needs. So get somebody else to do it. That makes sense. That push, I think, is part of that, to keep that knowledge, to keep that wisdom away from the younger generation. So we all have to try to fumble our way through or just get completely lost in all their bullshit.
Yeah, this is how they made the globe, by disconnecting us from our elders, who obviously at one time knew it wasn't a globe. But all that, I don't know, man. They've done a very good job at separating society by age, by gender, by race, by religion, but yeah, definitely by age. It's a shame. Yeah, I think back about my grandmother, and I was well old enough, to harness all that knowledge. I was in my 20s when she passed.
Yep.
And I wish I would have gone back and yeah.
Dude, it's like one of those big, it hits you hard when you realize what's gone. And you had it, all that knowledge right there at your hands if you'd have just shut up, sat down for a few minutes.
It's a learning experience. Now I'm a lot more, grateful for my elders that are around me. When they speak, I shut up. Yeah. I can't wait to be old. I was joking around with the 91-year-old lady yesterday. She's like, I know, I'm crazy on purpose sometimes. That's what she told me. I was like, oh, I can't wait to be your age. I'm going to be the craziest old man. I'm going to just walk down the road yelling crazy shit. And yeah, I'm going to be that one that they're going to try to lock up. And I'll be like Houdini escaping everywhere.
Just on your little gopher. Yeah. How the way, bitches.
From too nice for rice to too fast for the orderlies.
Lord. So Zach, Lord. Josh, how was your week, sir?
It's been good. It's been quiet. Work's just been humming along. Should be getting a raise here any day now. So that was good.
Word.
Yeah, actually got a review this past week. Turns out that, and I think John Savage would agree here, Eastern European can be demanding, sometimes hard to please, sometimes, there's Eastern European women are a breed unto themselves. So I was sort of teamed up with a Bosnian woman, and she's got pretty high standards. She likes things done her way. So she doesn't really work with people a whole lot because they don't usually last. So for me to be getting high praise from her is a good thing. So that's basically why I got my raise.
Congratulations. That's fucking awesome.
She went in there.
Oh, that's good.
Fought for it. And then my boss went in there will fight for it. So I could expect probably another $1, maybe an hour.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nice.
Hell, well earned for sure.
And I think we might have my buddy Donnie come hang out with me tonight. I think he might be here this evening. So he might be
Dude,
sitting
that would
in
be
for the
cool as
show.
hell.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see.
Looks
What
like we're lining up for a pretty relaxed show this evening. We came out of the gates hard last time around with our show on our back on our channel there. Did I see some scuttle though there in the chat? What happened? Something?
I don't know. What are you babbling about?
I don't know. Something I woke up and read a while ago. Let me go see what it was before I misquote myself. You guys carry on. I may be remembering this wrong.
I know.
As soon as I wake up.
We got a plug.
Oh,
Sir?
Plug it.
That flat fellow.
Yes.
His channel. This weekend, let me see exactly when it's going to be. It should tell me how many more hours. 38 hours away, the premiere of the very first Flat Earth variety show on that Flat Fellow's channel. Yeah, he says he's got enough content already to do 5 shows, and this will be the first. It's going to be like a game show. There's going to be dancing and singing, and there'll be their own commercials. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. Trivia. It's going to be really cool. They've been putting it from all over the earth. They're going to have different stuff coming to you. Yeah, the stuff he's been doing is just really amazing. So I'll drop the link in chat. And I'd like to mention this a couple times throughout the show if we could, just because I know we get some people that come and go. But yeah, I think this is going to be huge, guys. We've needed this, like we've got this coming out. We've got the documentary coming out, The Flatlanders, which is also going to be a series. It's not just going to be one movie. It's going to be a, series of episodes. So this is huge. I love this. So big shout out to that flat fellow, Tommy, and the whole Kakalaki crew. It'll be on in 38 hours, premiering on Tommy's channel. I will drop the link in chat right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, share that link, please, and I'll make sure and put it in our show description there down at the bottom where it'll be clickable for you guys when you go check out this rebroadcast.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be real interesting to see all those. And it'll probably only grow once you've done this one, and then other people see how good it is. So, yeah.
Yeah, he sent me a email saying, not asking to promote or anything, just saying this is when the show's going to be. I love Tommy. Such a very humble man. He doesn't have that big giant chip on his shoulder. And the work he does is just amazing.
So on other news, Victoria's in lockdown again. 7 days. That's nuts, eh? We had like a big catering job this weekend as well, and so we missed out on all that money and work and all that sort of thing. And Alex wasn't too impressed with it, that's for sure. But I think it was a week before their sort of emergency powers expire, and they hit it. So it can't be more obvious than that. Right. I don't know.
That's gross. That's just a gross display of power,
isn't it? And this is the second time. The first time was 5 days. Now it's 7 days. And I think they're just going to keep doing it periodically just to make sure that people still know who's in control and all that sort of stuff. So, yep. Not cool.
Are people listening, though? Are you still seeing all kinds of mass everywhere and you just stay out of that?
Well, I sort of only cruise around every now and again, just like I said, delivering those meals and things like that, or popping to get some fuel or something. But yeah, I've seen a couple of masked people pretty much the day of. So yeah, as soon as they get the word, their masks on. It's nutty.
Yeah, there's barely any masks here now. some of the older people are wearing them, but as soon as they said, well, you don't need a mask if you have your COVID shot, it seems like everybody was just like, oh, there's my opportunity to take this stupid thing off. Even though they didn't get the vaccine, just, nobody's wearing it now.
And this is when I want all their asses to wear one.
So I was listening. Sorry. My wife's boss is like having a real come to Jesus moment with the vaccines and COVID and the fact that her government may not be telling her the truth. And she's just sort of in that little bit of a manic stage where she's just taking information in and having a hard time accepting the fact that
figuring out what's going on, right?
Becoming a conspiracy theorist, essentially. Yeah. So she'd sent my wife a podcast. I forget the fella's name. He started Supplement Superstore. I think he's actually from this local area, I believe, but he had Dr. Ed Tapper on, who is a chiropractor. And he was talking about this. They were talking about this very thing. And the fact that, the people you see walking around that still wear that mask, those are the frightened little sheep. The ones that are scared of the virus. The ones that last month had that mask on, but then the minute they said, okay, take them off, they ripped them off. Those are the ones that don't really believe in the virus, but are fucking scared of the government. They don't necessarily buy the whole COVID story. They know better. They can see it's a fucking lie. That's why they just ripped the mask off first chance they got. If they were really worried about it, they'd still be masked up, double masked, triple masked, sanitizing everything. It'd be like it was last year this time. If they were really worried about it, but they're not. Right. They're not scared of this virus. They're scared of the government and what will happen to them if they don't comply. And that's just fucking scary.
Chris Klein?
Yeah, well, that's
some of them. They're scared of what other people are going to think of them. Just as well, I don't want to be different. Everybody else is wearing it because the government told them to. I know it's bullshit.
Fuck the government. That's a whole different thing.
I don't want to be different than everybody else. I mean, look they're all going and jumping off the cliff. I should jump off the cliff too, right? I don't want to be different. Yeah, I mean, that's the logic. When you start pushing the logic, that's what it do. Sorry, Lucas.
So the people that get the vaccine are basically the ones who actually think the virus is real. It's like I keep mentioning it, but I do these meals for the older ladies and one of them said, she come out and she was hobbling out and she's, I feel like I've been run over by a truck 25 times. And I'm like, why is that? And she's like, I got the vaccine. I'm like, far out, like pretty old. And so we'll just see, keep you up to date with what happens to her. But that left a pretty bad taste in my mouth anyway.
I'm sure, man. Damn.
So there.
Was that Chris Klein you're talking about, Josh? I looked up the person.
No, I just dropped it. Andy Frisella was the name of the.
There we go.
I just dropped the link in one of our chat rooms. He's got a link on his website where it says book Andy for free. So go to that website. I think it's andyfrisella.com, ANDYFRISELLA. I do believe. I can just freaking drop it in chat. I just gave it to you, Walt. But yeah, it was a really good podcast. It was the very last one he did. I think he called it Conspiracy Theories. And they sort of got on to the COVIDs and the death rates. And you understand that he's still sort of running within that mainstream dichotomy. So, I mean, he's close, but not quite there. So my wife's boss sent her that podcast for her to listen to, which I thought was really cool, having her start to wake up. So I sent her a podcast of David Parker and Don Lester. And then I sent her a podcast of Andrew Kaufman. And then I sent her to the website of another local guy here, Eric Naputi, who's just another local chiropractor who's sort of working on the fringe and pissing off the federal government to the point that they're now going after him. But yeah, it's great to see these people waking up. But it still seems like there's way too little kindness out there. It's like they are, if autism sometimes being caused by vaccines, the fact that vaccines might cause autism sometimes causes autism wasn't enough, having these people locked away and isolated for the last year has definitely messed with social skills and the way that people interact with each other. And there is just way too little decency out there amongst human beings. I mean, sure,
it was already pretty strained out there before all this shit.
Mm-hmm. It was the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You know, how that this whole thing has kept going just from that social angst, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really good point you're making there.
Maybe that's part of their blueprint.
I'm sure it is.
Because I mean, they've done the whole thing
Speaking
before
of
with the pandemic.
blueprints, Zachary, we have to follow this one. Yeah, it's that time to follow Chris's blueprint and pay a bill or three. Can we skip it? We're going to skip it. We're going to talk through it, Chris. Sorry. Go talk to Yahweh. He'll straighten it out. Shout out to YHWH, giving Ironworx a shout out on TFR.
Much love.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Hey everyone, it's Mark Sargent from Strange World, broadcasting live every Tuesday evening, 10 to 12 Eastern, 7 to 9 Pacific, right here on True Frequency Radio. Strange World covers a wide range of topics, from enclosed world theory to lunar waves to the end of the world in film. It's basically doomsday with a silver lining. With the audience as my co-host, we take an optimistic approach to all things conspiracy and promote confidence, hope, and humor whenever possible. If there's a topic you want us to cover or a guest you would like to see interviewed, please email me at msargent23@comcast.net. So please join me and tell your friends about Truth Frequency Radio, the leader in real radio programming, bringing you quality, cutting-edge broadcasts from around the world.
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
To you. Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day.
And welcome back to the Ironworks. We're just talking about masked people, vaccinated people, angry people, scared people, and the effect it's having on the rest of us. How's that for heavy?
Super heavy, man.
There were a few other things we wanted to talk about. Brown's gas. Because that's something I really wanted to get into because I wanted to hear your take on it. I listened to the Higher Side Chats, the last week's podcast about Brown's gas. When I heard it, I knew that you would dig it, that Zach would probably dig it, and that there was just all sorts of things in there that were relevant to the things that we talk about here on this show and over on Have No Sphere. And then you listened to it and you got about as much out of it as I thought you might.
Well, I did. And more, probably. I'm still working my way through it because there's so much nuance to it. There's little bits said, and there's actually, my brain synapses have to fire up and dig out old information because I've actually been delving into this type of information a long time ago. So bringing it back up to see how relevant it is to the work I'm doing now and what I'm thinking about. And so it's sort of like, okay. It's interesting when you study things back in the day and then they resurface to give you a new light on them all. So who was it? It was the guy that was talking was a guy by the name of George Wiseman. Now, his sort of main thing he was studying was in basically making efficiencies for cars. And so he would get huge amount. He sort of stumbled into it and very hands-on sort of dude. But so he was getting these carburetors to actually be super more efficient just by evaporating the fuel before it goes into the engine. And that means there's no the fuel into the gaseous state, so that means a lot of it burns and none of it comes out the tailpipe, and that's not how our engines are manufactured. And then that business basically got shut down, and they done some funny business to sort of shut him down out of it. But essentially, like, he was getting huge amounts of efficiencies. Like, I knew that some cars would get, say, 400 miles to the gallon. But he was in one of the books he was detailing. He said, well, they're up to about 5,500 miles per gallon. Just extraordinarily efficient. So from there, he's gone into electrolysis, and this is where the Brown's gas comes into, or other people know it as HHO. And it's basically you use electrolysis, which is you have a cathode, anode, and you put energy into the system, and the energy flows through the water or the electrolyte medium. And so this Brown's gas is very interesting because it's highly explosive, but you can it's got a cool flame, so you can sort of weld with it or braise with it, and you can run your hand through the flame and it won't burn you. And so it's actually cold, but when you can actually weld things, say metal to brick, and through these you can do some pretty fantastic things with it. And he was saying some companies were using this sort of gas in mining to actually increase the amount of metals they were getting out of mining and things like that. So that's sort of the overall sort of what he's about. And I just found this interesting.
When you say increase the metals that they were mining, it's not like they were just mining more out of the ground and they were just able to mine more ore. They mined a specific set of ore. Then would they treat it with the gas? I forget exactly how the story went, but they took what was extracted and then made more of that. So they were able to really, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just efficiency multiplied because they had already spent the energy getting it out. But then there was something that they did that made it heavier or more dense or multiple. I forget exactly what the story was. Again, it's been a week since I listened to it.
I think there was a few different methods that they use, but because sometimes they cook it, and with that gas, I think he was saying for, say, palladium or something, they have trouble actually separating it because of the iron, and so you can actually use that gas to separate the iron out, and then you'll get more of it with less sort of energy and things like that. So a high yield,
real high melting point elements. I think it's like 5,000 degrees to melt down palladium. That's what they use inside of the capacitors. Pretty sure it's palladium. And I was looking into it because I got a bunch of capacitors. I was like, well, shit, I'm going to need a different torch. And I don't even know if graphite crucible will be able to hold it, because graphite starts to melt around that time.
So about 8 hours, 10 hours, maybe 8, given the time. On my YouTube feed was a video how to melt palladium. Whatever that's worth. I just thought that was really interesting that I saw that video, like, because it wasn't in a crucible. I didn't watch it. I saw it because it had the symbol for palladium, and it was like glowing red. It was almost sort of like the Ironworx stuff that we do with the red hot metals and the glowing of it. So it caught my eye, but how to melt palladium, and it said like 5,373 degrees or whatever the melting point was. And then here we are having an entire conversation about how to melt palladium. I just thought that was really strange.
That's how it works, man.
There's not many.
Usually it works the other way around. Usually we'll have the conversation, people will listen in and then start sending me shit. Doesn't usually go the other way.
Yeah, I think one of the only harder elements is osmium than palladium, and that's one of those metals that they can't cast because the melting point and the boiling point are only about 100 degrees difference. So I'm assuming that's why they can't do it. It's one of the hardest metals to melt down, but then it turns gaseous. It starts boiling at just 100 degrees higher than its melting point.
Oh, yeah.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
So you'd have to keep
the temperature right.
Yeah, perfectly, which is about damn near impossible. I mean, that would be tricky. But yeah, I guess they can't cast that stuff, osmium.
You just have to do it super slow, wouldn't you? Just increase the temperature really slowly.
Yeah, like a degree at a time. Just very finite. It'd be fun to play with that stuff, have labs that could do that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Zach.
No, that's it. Well, go ahead. Be an
to
ass.
ask you guys a question, because I was just trying to gather some components for my show stuff after the show, the picture. What is Brown's gas and health? How is that connected? Because I'm seeing all that as well, not just the stuff you guys are already talking about, but apparently inhalers for the HHO. And
Well, yeah, the guy that I had on there actually sells and markets a machine that creates it. And I saw Greg Carlwood got himself one. So if you follow Greg Carlwood in the Higher Side chats, you could probably follow exactly what it is and how it's
see how it
helping
works.
him.
Okay, cool. Because I'm really, blown away by all of this.
But he charges like $2,500 for one of these machines. It's something completely outrageous. I mean, yeah, it's a cool little marketed and manufactured machine that does what it's supposed to do. But it's pretty basically a real simple concept, is it not, Lucas?
Yeah, well, I've looked into, I've got some of his plans, and it's about 62 pages. So I've been reading through that. I'll probably read it a few times to get a bit of a, but I think you can build it. You just have to sort of pay attention to the details, because it is actually an explosive gas. So you want to, follow the instructions to a T. And, but it really is just electrolysis, and what he's explaining is there's certain sort of parameters that you need in the unit itself that actually creates the Brown's gas, and you won't get it with normal sort of the older day setups where there's a membrane between the cathode and the anode. So it's like this mixture of, he calls it basically monatomic oxygen and monatomic hydrogen, which aren't supposed to exist. So what those health things he's creating is basically an electrolysis machine, and then it goes through a bubbler, and you can bubble in the water, and you can drink the water, or you can use it as an inhaler and inhale the gas at a certain ratio, which all that stuff would be figured out in the machine. But so yeah, that's basically what it is. I don't know if it works, but it's a very interesting sort of take. There was something else that was extremely interesting about what he said. He said this water that was created from the electrolysis, he basically had it in a glass jar, and then had it in the cupboard or whatever on the bench, and then so that was pure water. And then he had a bottle of mineral water, or like with all the minerals, different stuff in it, in front of it, and it was out in the sun, and it basically shone through that mineralized water, and then basically the minerals started accumulating in the clean water, almost like it reflected through it.
An imprint.
Now that sounds an imprint, a copy. So that sounds pretty out there. And then, but if you go back, and if I don't know if other people have listened to this, but Crow's episode, I think it was 317, remedies through frequency. There was a Dr. Lonnie Herman on there, and this doctor was basically taking people into a Faraday cage, checking the frequencies, and finding problems, their illness basically, and then getting healthy tissue cells. So every, your skin has frequency, your bone has frequency, all of it has a different frequency. And so he'd find the problem in the person, and then basically find a healthy specimen of what the skin should be, or whatever the problem was, and imprint that frequency into water, and then give that to the person as their remedy. So these sort of two things seem to coincide, and I found that very interesting.
Yeah, that's, man. So I could almost take the rice machine, put it into water, and
that's right,
download the frequencies into the water.
Right in the bathtub.
Yep.
Just hop in the tub with you and the rice machine and have a hat.
I don't know about all that. But yeah, yeah, there's so much healing power in this type of technology. And the saddest part is we've known about it for almost 100 years now. Every doctor's office should have a Rife machine and should be implementing this that we're talking about right now with the water.
And it's sort of the other thing that it brings up when you sort of think about these, periodic table and those sort of things, and you actually go back to the old mythologies as well, where they talk about it's called Alma Mater, or the All Matter, the All Mother, basically, and was represented as salt water as well. So there's these sort of correlations that happen about, where are these elements actually coming from, and the idea of, frequency creating structure, as in, your crystals and those sort of things. So
yeah, just matter in general.
Yeah, well, that's right. And, this is why I think, the study of actually geometry is so important, even though I don't get a chance to do it that much myself. But I think if we were studied that heavily, through school or whatever as a main class, just along with mathematics or any other one, I think we would progress so much just from understanding seeing these relationships, these ratios, whatever it is.
The plutonic solids and how they work. There's only so many of them,
Mm.
It's like a puzzle piece, but we're never taught the shape of the puzzle pieces. So sticking them together, we have no idea, there's so much stuff that a child would understand if they were taught it, even at a very young age.
Not only do we not get told what the shape of the puzzle piece is, we get given the wrong box to look from. Say, hey, this is the puzzle you're making.
Just wrong. Yeah.
Right, and it's just a completely wrong puzzle.
Yeah, well, that's right. And when you look at the flower of life and you start, say, playing with the shapes that are within it, I mean, it's nearly endless, the amount of different sort of things that actually are produced just from that singular sort of, geometric construction. There's the cube in there. There's all these different things within it. And, even, I've thought also, like, if we were to learn to recognize these geometric patterns early on, could we walk outside and then, recognize a flower from that geometric shape and then build some correlation like that? Look at how the grasses grow, or, whatever it is, and build up a knowledge base just by understanding the correlations there.
You know what? I feel stupid now. I just had a thought that I've never had before, and I can't believe I never had this thought before. What's one of the most, they say it's like the main shape in nature. It just happens naturally. But I've never heard of a plutonic solid being sphere-shaped. Have you? Aren't all the plutonic solids like geometric shapes that don't have curves? They're all flat lines, straight lines. Your cube, your hexagon, all these different
Well, now
shapes.
we're just talking about Planck distances, I think, because the more complex, I think, the solid, the closer to a perfect sphere you'll get.
Okay, so they consist of a tetrahedron, which is the pyramid, a cube, an octahedron, a dodecahedron, and an icosahedron. No sphere involved.
No curved lines, even.
No, they're all either squares or triangles. Yep.
That never hit me before. I don't know. Just throwing that out there.
But I think there is a sort of, a a correlation to, I mean, probably Cami knows more about this. I mean, the geometric forms of crystals and things like that. So even, geometry would play a part in understanding what form you're looking at that way. So anyway.
And before we get way far off topic, about the whole gas thing, this has been eating away at me since you said it about the 500 miles per gallon. This is not that well of a known fact, but did you know that they could give away gasoline for free and not lose out like the gas companies? Gasoline is 100% profit when they sell it.
Well, you got plastics, paints, all the rest of the other stuff with it. Yeah.
Make so much money off the byproducts of making the oil cleaner, pulling all this stuff out of it, processing that, and then selling that. Like you said, plastic is oil, poly. It's, I mean, the resin that we would order at the bucket factory came straight from the oil company. We had one in Louisiana and we had one up in northern Canada. And they make enough money to pay all their employees, pay the bills to keep the factories running, and make a profit before they sell one drop of gasoline. They're already making billions without gasoline being sold.
And they do a good job of chucking it everywhere, don't they? I mean, it's like, you remember when they were peeling those oranges and putting them in a plastic wrapper? I mean,
yeah.
It's like they just keep, working out different ways to, the whole supermarket's full of plastic.
Everything is plastic now.
Do we think hemp is going to be able to have the impact now that it would have 100 years ago on the petrodollar, on the oil industry?
I don't think so. I mean, they can make fuel out of hemp. They really
Well, they
wanted.
did. That's what the first cars ran off, and every farmer was making a little bit of extra money selling fuel. So, and what about the bricks that you can make out of it that get harder over time? Basically, like nearly turned to hempcrete. Yeah. And then they I've seen someone put an oxy on it and just hold it there for ages. It just doesn't burn.
No, it's amazing. It expands and contracts with the heat and the humidity so that it doesn't crack like concrete does. It's, everything should have been out of this stuff. I wouldn't doubt if they went back and did some, carbon dating or whatever they claim to do on a lot of these old Antiquitech buildings. I bet they're made out of some kind of hempcrete. I wouldn't doubt it.
No, I wouldn't doubt it either. The other thing was, I don't know if it's a T model Ford. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, but the axle chassis was made out of hemp plastic.
Yeah, the whole car.
Way stronger. Yeah, it was way stronger than your metals and things like that. So I think he hit it with a sledge or something. Didn't even leave a dent.
So what you're trying to tell me is that Cheech and Chong were not scientifically accurate when their vehicle made out of hemp caught on fire and got everybody at the concert high. I see. No, nobody else saw Cheech and Chong movies growing up. Sorry.
All I hear right now is "Book me, Alex. Book me, Alex." I didn't know your name was Alex, man. No. Right before the concert, I think Chong is in there having sex with that chick, and he's really just got a leg cramp.
Well, he's got a leg cramp, and anyway, so.
And she's telling a story. I'm gonna have to go watch that again now. I love the cop when he walks up he smells the thing and he walks up to the window. He's like, "What do you guys want?" Nothing. He's like, "Can I have a bite of your hot dog?" Yeah, man, here you go. Gives it to him, thanks, and just turns around and walks away. Oh, they don't make movies like that anymore. Well, we
They
are.
tried,
Wow.
but they failed.
Here or there.
About 90 seconds.
My mama talking to me, trying to tell me how to live. But I don't listen. Anyway.
Good stuff. But yeah, I mean, plastic is everywhere. Look at your clothes. I forget who it was. Maybe J.P. Morgan, maybe one of the Rockefellers. But they said they're going to poison you with plastic. They're going to put it in your food. They're going to put it everywhere around you. They're going to wrap you in it with your clothing. Polyester. Plastic from oil. So we're actually walking around with oil draping off of our bodies. And it's crazy when you think about it that way.
Yep.
I don't fully understand why they do it. I know it's not healthy for us to be around.
Uh-oh. We got to stop.
That one came in hot. Usually we're talking over it.
That's heavy.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the Ironworks, Josh, Walt, Zach, and Lucas. Right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We'll be right back after this.
Censorship and regulation is becoming an ever-growing problem in today's modern media. From the mainstream to YouTube and Google, the information you're looking for is buried by official narratives and propaganda. This is why TFR is 100% uncensored, unregulated, and listener-supported. The shows on TFR are not micromanaged by the station, and our hosts are free to speak their minds however they please. As such, the views and opinions expressed on our station are of those who make them. If you happen to hear anything offensive on TFR, please send us an email to toughtitty@tfrlive.com, and we'll be happy to tell you that we really don't give a damn. We stand for freedom of speech and non-censorship. If you also stand for free speech, you can go to tfrlive.com/sign-up and sign up for a TFR supporter pass and help us in our mission to keep the airwaves uncensored and unregulated. TFR Live, your uncensored and unregulated protection from deception.
The president unveils his budget plan today. On Jack Callahan, Fox News, it's a $6 trillion spending plan.
Major boost for everything from infrastructure, families, jobs, education, environment, healthcare to the tune of $6 trillion. The president making the case for it in Cleveland yesterday.
I believe this is our moment to rebuild an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. Not a trickle-down economy.
But it comes as the national debt tops $28 trillion and Congress has serious questions about how to pay for it. All part of why the Republicans' counteroffer was a lean $928 billion.
Fox's Griff Jenkins, the Senate was in session until the wee hours of this morning, debating but ultimately not voting on a bill to spend $52 billion to improve U.S. technology research. They also did not get to a cloture vote on a January 6th commission. They may try again later today. Two coronavirus bills will be introduced on Capitol Hill today.
The Made in America Emergency Preparedness Act establishes a bipartisan commission expected to focus on the origins of COVID-19. The second bill is the Never Again International Outbreak Prevention Act. That is designed to strip China of sovereign immunity, allowing COVID family victims to directly sue the Chinese government for damages.
Fox's Kevin Corke. 3 Tacoma, Washington police officers have been charged in the death of a man in police custody more than 2 months before George Floyd's death.
In their probable cause, they say none of the video evidence nor any of the witnesses say that they saw Manny Ellis resisting arrest in any way. The witness saying, "It doesn't seem like he was fighting at all to me. He wasn't even defending himself." And also the Attorney General's office questioning the very existence of a reason for a stop in the first place.
Reporter Brandy Cruz of Fox Q13 in Seattle. 2 of the officers are charged with murder. They'll make their first court appearances today. America is listening to Fox News.
Wherever you are, make it Truth Frequency Radio.
This is your fucking wake-up call, man!
Wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Wakey, wakey. Hey, welcome back. Sorry. Yeah, I left the space there for everybody else to finish it off, but
I was gonna,
Walt
but
was
I
the only
didn't
one.
because I kind of, I went to find that Cheech and Chong song. I was going to try to play it before break. Couldn't find it fast enough, but I was listening to it on break. Sure, Dickie Barrett and the guys from Mighty Mighty Boss Tones formed Mighty Mighty Boss Tones in '83. That movie came out in '78. So here's what I figured. They were all sitting around, Dickie and the boys, and they're like getting really baked watching Cheech and Chong. And this song came on and they heard this metal guitar and the horn section. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones was born. It has to be, because that is the first place I remember ever hearing heavy guitar and horns was Boss Tones until I just rewatched this and I'm like, holy shit. Chong and them were so far ahead of the curve, Oh man, go watch it. Go listen to it. It's badass metal with horns.
Me a war. I used to love that band. Who is it? Eric Burton in War?
I believe you're correct, sir.
Feel the Wine? Yeah, that's an awesome song. Are you an overfed, long-haired, leaping gnome? Who's the star of a Hollywood movie? No? Nobody?
No,
I'm
sorry.
closing stuff as hard as I can over here. I'm jamming with your friend.
You'll have to link it to me, Zach.
Oh, it's a great song, Lucas. I'm sure you've heard it, maybe. I don't know. See if I
Maybe.
can't find it. Yeah.
So good.
So what's going on?
I don't know. You want to talk about more HHO stuff? I don't know.
You're all about that HHO stuff, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. No, I pretty much had me spiel anyway, but I just thought it was super interesting. So,
yeah, it really truly is. It got me digging behind the. That's kind of why I was quiet for that whole last segment. Is I was digging through, looking into it, seeing all the different aspects, the health, the other aspects, technical. Found George Wiseman, found his company site, all that, looked at the contact information, thinking of reaching out to him. And maybe because he's been on quite a few shows we're all quite familiar with. You never know.
Yeah, sweet. It's interesting. The hydrogen as a, makes up your body and these things from electrolysis, which is, again, sort of along the electrochemical sort of spectrum. Well, that relates to, us as a battery or, gaining energy by, breaking down these foods and, even thought of the heart as and the blood as two different electrolytes, like a flow battery, and the pulse of the heart creating charge, these two electrolytes. So there's a lot of connections. Definitely, like it's a full-on study to try and get to the heart of these things. But I think going along these electrochemical lines is definitely where it's at. And I think that's the other thing, like I heard the other day, was in relation to alchemy, which is two words, the al and chemi. Well, al or L is in just another term for electricity. So it's electrochemistry. So I think the whole thing is, even transmutation of elements and things like that is all part and parcel of that electrochemistry concept. It's maybe been blocked out, hidden out. And I was seeing the same thing when I was looking at the GEAT sort of stuff, where we're turning that fuel to a plasma, and then he was saying, well, there's more these lighter elements coming out and transmutation. So again, we're seeing this increased efficiency, plasma, and transmutation of the elements. And I think they're part and parcel of this whole area that's been sort of purposely neglected and not taught. So,
well, that's usually the case with anything, man. They don't want us to have all this power and knowledge and stuff. I mean, the stuff we keep finding out is just so brain breaking. Like, as I said, I've spent 30 minutes digging behind the scenes because it's so intriguing. Oh my goodness. And it then shows me another rabbit hole I have to get lost down, and a whole new realm of things I've got to learn. So yeah, I'm excited.
So did you know?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You go.
Yeah, I was gonna change the subject.
Yeah, change the subject.
But Roy taking a left.
I was just going through space lettuce. Kind of.
Oh, that's deep. That's deep.
So I don't know if we want to go there yet.
We could in a minute, but we've had a request also in chat not to change the subject, but since you did, is that something that you did? I think I saw there, Joshua.
It is indeed.
Josh, is the open lines up, sir? We have a request from Miss Briscoe there in chat to open the flat line up. Hoping, I guess, that she would call in would be a thing. That would be awesome. We haven't heard from Allison in quite some time. 213-233-3998. That is how you call the TFR number. But if you'd prefer to call us over there on our flat line, you certainly can. It's 304-503-3528. I say we're always there. It's always there. How about that? That's a more accurate way to put it. That line is always there, even when we're not here. Kind of convenient. We should check it every now and again. I have no way to anymore. Remember, I couldn't get into it because it wants to do all the triple, quadruple encryption, fingerprint, blood drop, DNA sample. I'll just leave you my underwear. Oh God, I shouldn't have went there. But
right.
Yeah.
Born. Yeah.
Yeah. I should get notifications generally. It's still kind of hit and miss. I've got so many settings set differently that sometimes I get noticed, sometimes I don't. But I should
keep enough. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say I should. I believe that's the Have No Sphere podcast at gmail.com is the one that's connected to the flatline.
Uh-huh.
So I should get notifications.
Cool.
So you
Again, I've lost complete contact with it due to all the encryption stuff they've got us under now. I can't even hardly put a video up on our channel without a struggle these days.
Well, the cool thing about the flatline is it takes text messages too, so you can. I'm pretty sure you should be able to shoot us a text.
Absolutely.
At the flatline number, you can call, leave a voicemail there on the flatline, or if during a show we specifically open it up and listen for it to ring, we can use it
Right, we
as
could do
a
sometime.
call-in line.
Yeah, we could do that this evening, actually.
Probably not a bad idea. We ought to, since we have little else to do. Maybe that's
we
what
could
we'll
definitely do that. Well, I'm going to the TFR line to check it. I don't see Allison's number there ringy-dinging, so maybe she's calling the flat line itself. I'm just saying, Allison, this is...
maybe I should have opened the flat line. I can also drop a link to the Restream chat.
We could get her right in here and just make her be on the show. I mean, ask her politely to be on the show. We could. I'm just saying.
She says she needs to go to the van and get a headset so somebody can call.
Oh, she gives others time to call. Politely.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so first in, best dressed.
213-233-39. Does this help? 213-233-3998. 213-233-3998. That's 213-233-3998. Call now.
You can also dial the toll-free number 833-TFR Live.
If you want to.
If you want to.
That one doesn't flow so well, so I don't like it.
You just got to catch a right beat.
You go.
You got to slow it down a little.
That's it.
Well, we can do some space lettuce while we wait, I suppose.
We could do that. Zachariah. I have to get to the pile. I haven't dug in there in a minute. I did pile some stuff on it. Some pretty ludicrous,
Yeah, I've seen that.
Ludicrous stuff.
Yeah, so guess who has joined the race to the moon?
Go ahead.
Only the moon, not Mars.
Uganda.
Okay.
No, well, they're following the tow line. They say by 2030 they'll be on the moon. But just guess this country. It's a country.
I'm still sticking with Uganda.
Well, it's not England. You know, England will not jump on that bandwagon. They're, I think, a little too wise for that. But
Did you see the
country.
flip that guy tried to do? That one British astro faker? I'm sorry. Anyway.
Did he fall on his head or something?
Dude, he fell over to the side. Like he didn't even complete the axis of the flip. He was so, it was pitiful. I'll find the footage. Hold on.
Botswana. That's a good guess, Douglas.
What? Douglas Falk in the house. Shout out.
No, South Korea is now in the space race.
Well, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
yeah, it might as well be Zimbabwe or what did Douglas say? Botswana,
Uganda. Mm-hmm.
South Korea. What? I don't get it. Why would they all this? I know that they're pretty much run by the United States, but I don't get it. Why? South Korea to the moon. I didn't even know that they had a space program.
It's government expansion. It's how they make their government bigger. They collect more taxes. They spend that tax money on their space program. And
So
more of the
that's what we're gonna
citizens
need,
get stuck on the government teat. Now, I have government money.
40,000 troops stationed there at all times now to protect that interest? Because I think it's 20,000 troops at all time are stationed in South Korea. I mean, this is crazy. We are not the police of the world. And I don't know, I'm pretty sick of paying for it. What is it? Our military, you could add up the next 26 countries, all of their military budgets combined, 2 through 27. And the United States still spends more on their military than all of those combined. And like 20 of them, 25 of them are our allies. It's just insanity. I don't get it. But yeah, the whole South Korea to the moon, I still don't see why. I don't understand it. I can't comprehend why all of a sudden they're in the mix now.
I should have guessed Australia, shouldn't I? Just to, 'cause I don't think we do any space stuff. We're behind the 8 ball. Yeah. We're probably aiming for 2050 or 2090.
Zach, sorry, it's quid pro quo. You'll find out why in the future. But I'm sure it's you do this for us now, and in the future, it stimulates the economy. They can grow, they can get big, they can minimize the threat of North Korea. And who knows what they'll be asked of in return, but there it is. I think, all you got to do is go along with the space program. We'll get you all set up, and you just put this narrative out there.
I did forget, and Liz just reminded me in chat, we have got ARS. What was it? The Australian Research and Space. I'll have to look it up what it was.
Well, animation is hard, after all.
It is hard. It really is. The trick is learning how to curve the spline on your keyframes. It really smooths out the motion.
It does work it out.
Yeah, they were showing, who was watching that? The Richard Branson is claiming that they've made it up to 50 blah, 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 blah miles and blah, 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 blah. But it looked like a movie, the cuts, the clips. It looked ridiculous. It was just like NASA and SpaceX. The first 20 seconds, there was like 10 different angles.
Sure.
They get up there and one guy has like welding gloves on and the other guy has no gloves on. And they're about 20 times higher than the U-2 spy plane, 10 times higher. And they don't have any like special suit. It's such nonsense.
This is how little the average person questions what they see on that idiot box. It doesn't matter. The reason they hired that guy that made that was because that's what that guy could do. He could stack all those layers and make this stuff look really theatrical. And that was his presentation. Look, here's my body of work. Here's the stuff that I've done. I can take this program, I can 3D model all this stuff out, and I can create this really dramatic scene. All right, well, do it for us. Okay. And here it is. Here's this huge dramatic scene where you must have had 10 cameras up in the sky at the same time as this historic launch, because you have 10 different angles of the same shot. But nobody thinks, how do you get 10 different angles? Because they're just used to accepting whatever comes in at them. They don't question it. It bypasses that logical thinking.
Yeah, they're so wrapped up in the awe of, this accomplishment that they don't even stop and question, is it even possible?
I think this is why fourth walls are held so dearly. And the shows that break that fourth wall tend to not do so well, especially maybe critically, because that's their illusion. If you break the illusion, then you break the illusion for everybody. And there's a lot of people that won't survive without the illusion of that fourth wall being only you peeking in through the window. That there's cameras and sets and there's nothing there. That it's all a set. The whole world is a stage. Nope. They just accept it. What I see on TV, the way I see things on TV is the way I see things in life. So what I see on TV must be real. I won't. 10 different shots? Cool. That looks awesome. I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go. Privatizing it's going to be awesome. Just take my money.
Even if they offered it for free, you're not getting me up in one of those things. No way. No way whatsoever. you'd have a better chance getting me out on a little dinghy out in the middle of the ocean. I don't see it working. Eventually, they're going to have to send somebody up there that isn't part of the club, you know, and they're going to come down and say, I don't know, it looked pretty flat to me.
So wait, when was it supposed to curve? When does it look like the ball I see on television? Why doesn't that match up? Why doesn't my reality match up with what I see on TV? My wife left me. My kids hate me. I drink too much. And God damn it, I went 50 miles up and it still looks flat. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, did you guys happen to catch Wednesday show at all? Over on Glowbusters?
I was there, but the level it was down. The conversation we were having was really good.
Yeah, we were locked in over here, like locked in. Thank you, by the way, ladies.
If there was no conversation,
I came back in and was chatting with you guys.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
But it brought up this thing, right, where if you're flying at 39,000 feet, you can see so many miles away. I think it's like 240 miles from that elevation. The horizon should be 240 miles away. Well, so you're 39,000 feet up. Well, the drop of 240 miles is like 39,000 feet. So really, that horizon that you're looking at, the ground beneath you would only be 39,000 feet below you. But the horizon should be closer to 80,000 feet below you. So yes, you should absolutely see the curve of that ball. From 39,000 feet, you should be able to see the curve of the Earth. From, it drops almost 40,000 feet in the distance you can see. But you can sit in the middle of a plane, look out the left window and see the horizon, look out the right window and see the horizon, right at your eye level. That should be impossible. Both of those horizons should be 80,000 feet below your line of sight. But you don't have to be by the window. You can be in the center of a big wide plane, look out both windows, and there's your horizon right there.
Absolutely.
Makes no sense. And I never even thought of that, adding in the height of the distance to the horizon. So yeah, in my opinion, we should be able to see a curve by 39,000 feet. Probably well before that. Just saying. A big shout out again. I want to bring this up again. That flat
Please
fellow.
do.
His channel. Let's see where we're at now. The countdown. Oh no! Give me a second.
I know. I'm looking for it too. I did drop the link, and shout out, Tommy. Thank you for the super chat. And definitely, guys, I will have the link in our show description as well.
We are 37 hours away from the very first premiere of the Flat Earth Variety Show. There's going to be a game show, our own commercials, dancing, singing, ventriloquism. I mean, they're going all out, folks. This is going to be amazing. This is the very first one. Tommy said he's got at least enough already right now gathered and, content to do at least 5 of these things. So I'm hoping this just takes off and soars. He deserves it. He's been putting, I don't know what he works more on, his 70-hour-a-week, 80-hour-a-week job, or the stuff he's doing to help this community out. He's just, I don't know how he does it. But yeah, big shout out to Tommy. Love you, man. Keep up the great work, and I will definitely be there tomorrow supporting. Let me drop that link. Oh, you already got that link. Did you?
I'm on it, brother. On it.
So yeah, 37 hours away from the very first premiere, folks. I'm excited. And yeah, he's been working on this for a while. This isn't something that he just thought of last month. And I mean, they've really put a lot of time and effort and dedication into, making this a well-organized, well-oiled machine. So yeah, I'm really excited. I cannot wait. This is going to be fun. No, you're the man, Tommy. Thank you. Much love, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, and not just Tommy. It's a lot of the Kakalaki crew are helping with this. So, yeah, if you can't support in any other way, I know they like to go live on Saturdays sometimes from the flea market. So whenever you catch that on, go check it out. That's a good time as well. But yeah, we love you, Tommy. Love all the stuff you're doing out there, man. Just do what you do. I couldn't ask you to even keep doing what you're doing. It's so much. So just do what you want to do.
It's your
I don't know how else to say it. Yeah.
Do what
you want to do. Well, I see a caller has called upon our calling device. However, caller, we
to a break.
Just a few seconds for a break. So if you don't mind hanging on, Texas caller, and we will get to you, lady, in just a few minutes.
But we certainly will. It is. We've got about 30 seconds. We should be hearing music any second now. And that would be it. Anyway, this is the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFR Live, YouTube, Facebook, D Live, Twitch, Twitter, across the plane. We're here. We'll be back. Fourth and final segment coming up right after this.
Discover the extraordinary powers of intuitive healing with pain transmutation, a method of holistic healing for the human soul, body, mind, and emotions. If you are looking for answers and a deep understanding of how to help yourself and the people around you to live a happier, healthier life, this is the right place for you. Learn how to read your soul's history in the Akashic Records. Remove negative energy attachments from your astral body and start the process, inner and outer pain transmutation. Join Pain Transmutation Community and get started on the path of intuitive healing. Change your energetic state, manifest new and exciting experiences, re-energize your life, and build inspiring connections with others in our community.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
It's a great product. And the one thing I like about it the most is that when you open the bottles, you can smell like the scent of the fruits and veggies. It's no genius thing to it. It's really just fruits and veggies, which everyone needs. And you guys put it in a way where you can take it easy and you can get it, and it's natural, and that's what I like about it. Yeah, I like the product, and I've taken it, and it's definitely made me feel a lot better. You know, I am a healthy person to begin with, but it's definitely good prevention, and it's definitely gives me energy, and I feel like it's a natural thing. I like it. I really do.
For a limited time, use discount code TALK to receive a 50% discount on your first preferred whole health system and have it shipped to you free. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Again, use discount code TALK.
For 5,000 years, the world was ruled with wooden ships by one man. 242 years ago, a small group of free men crafted a new nation built on liberty and freedom. Global elites have been fighting to destroy this new nation called America ever since. Based on actual events, Charm of Favor tells a true story of how they corrupted the election system. They infiltrated federal agencies and murdered witnesses, judges, and even presidents to keep from being caught. Now, the largest and wealthiest crime syndicate the world has ever known has been drawn out of the shadows. They have killed hundreds of Americans and recently attempted to assassinate half our congressmen. Still, they escape arrest through an almost supernatural charm of favor. Read Charm of Favor and be prepared to open your eyes to what may lie just around the corner. Charm of Favor is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Good morning. Here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
Exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet.
Everything's internet. The earth is flat. It's like school. Yeah. Dark matter is something we do not know. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, I'm afraid of course, there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard. Think really hard. Think really hard.
And back to the fourth and final segment of the Ironworx. We have got a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. How are you this morning?
Good. I'm calling. Good morning to you. And I would like to say, Dawn of the Enlightenedness, I'm with you there this whole time. And probably again with the when you vibrate higher at a higher frequency, I guess is what it makes it go by so fast for us. But it is actually relative because when you're having fun, right? You're doing something, it goes quickly. And I've noticed lately on these morning shows that the ball really gets rolling about, hour 1.45. 15 or last segment is yeah. And what's going on tonight? This afternoon with Have No Fear. It's Friday, my dudes.
Dunno.
Probably this right here, what we're doing now. We'll probably open up the flat line and
perfect.
I don't know. Yeah, we have no guests booked other than our friend Donnie's going to come hang out. So he'll probably be here in the studio with me here.
Because maybe Tommy I'll be able to call in because right now it's
that would be awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely.
Okay. Did you hear that, flat dude?
You've been called out, Tommy. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, he's super busy. I don't know if he has afternoons free. I know when he calls us on the early show, it's always he's working. He's calling from work, while he's driving around. But yeah, I'm not sure.
I
know
in chat he might,
right
if he is able. He just told us in chat. So thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that.
Awesome. That'd be awesome, man. Yeah, we can throw another promo. We're going to do it anyway. Yeah, I've been trying to shout it out as much as possible over the last couple of days after you sent me that email.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Absolutely excited.
I missed what y'all were talking about while I was gathering my headset things. Did I miss what it is?
Oh, that flat fellow has been working on a flat Earth show, like a
variety show.
Variety show, yeah. There's going to be dancing and singing and like a. I don't know if there's a game show. Yeah, and there's going to be ventriloquism, and they have their own like commercials for flat earthers. And this is the very first one, and they won't be the only one. They already have enough, and it's not half-assed done. It's not done like I've done so many of my videos with just a camera and me talking or something like that. These are really well put together. If you haven't seen any of the videos he's put out already from people singing from different parts of the world, their own flat earth songs they've written, and it's just amazing. The amount of people that he's got to contribute to this, and just the time it takes to get a hold of all those people and coordinate all this. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm real excited. This has been needed, something like this. So yeah,
I can tell that you're excited, and I've already gone to. I found the link in the chat. Thank you, and already the reminder's on, and I'm subscribed, and all the notifications are coming my way. So, how's that for technology, you guys? When it works, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it'll ring you when it's supposed to.
Well, I'll go back. It says right here, May 29th, 7 p.m. So I'll just make sure that I'm close. How's that?
There you go. Yeah, I think I started counting down at about 48 hours. I started.
37 hours. What we got now? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what else is? What do you want to know about Texas?
I want to know I got the magnets out in the garden, right? But I'm also using magnetic water just to see if there's a difference. If the ones with the magnets around their base are going to do better, or if everything comes out the same, I'm not even going to be putting magnets into anything. I just don't like putting stuff in my soil that's foreign. But if I can do it with just the water alone, and I'll get the same results, then that's kind of what I'm doing. I haven't made any videos about it yet because I don't know. I like to try and test things first before I go and tell other people to do it.
What about testing the magnetics in the all three? Well, three. Excuse me. Magnets in the soil, magnetic water, and just you talking to them. Not just you talking to them, but because it could be your magnetic personality that is the catalyst. I mean, it's that simple.
You just need more plants without magnets that you can water only with vortexed water.
Well, that's what I did. Not all the plants have the magnets around the base. Like I have 2 of this certain type of tomato plant. One has a magnet around the base, and they're both getting magnetic water.
But then you need a third that only gets. Well, I guess if it's all getting magnetic water, then I guess that's how it works, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just to see the difference. Yeah, because I'm not going to not give a plant the magnetic water if all the other ones get it. That's not right.
Unless, of course, the magnetic water doesn't do any good.
Yeah, well, that's what the magnets are for, around the base of the other plants. So if I get a difference in the plants, then I'll act accordingly. But if I can get it to just grow with the magnetic water without having the magnets in the soil around the plants and all that whatnot, I'd rather not put anything down there if I don't have to. If I can get the same results by just magnetizing the water, then I'll just go straight through that. Then I'm going to hook it up to where I can just flip a switch and turn it on. Because I have magnets around my pore spout of a little pore pitcher. And that's how I just go to every plant and they get a full pitcher of water.
So do you think you would magnetize, you'd vortex the water before you treated it with Brown's gas? Or do you think you would treat the water with Brown's gas and then vortex that?
Well, I was, planning on making one of these machines, these electrolysis machines to create the Brown's gas, and I was actually thinking about that and how I do it because I use mains water. I have basically like a 1,000-liter buffer tank, and so that's so I don't pump straight out of the mains, and when it switches on, someone's shower loses pressure. But so what I was thinking of doing is maybe having a bubbling it through that water in the tank before it goes out onto the yard. So it just depends, because you don't really want that gas accumulating anywhere either. Otherwise, it's explosive. So it just take a bit of working out of how much gas to put in so it doesn't actually accumulate. But the tank stays quite full all the time anyway, so it's not really a problem.
Well, I guess if it's always topping off like that, then you might need to have that constant flow and worry about venting. But I guess if you just have one thing that you're going to treat, you can just treat it with Brown's gas. Yeah, it doesn't have to necessarily stay in there the whole time. You can put it, treat it, and pull it out, and then just have a pitcher full of water that's been treated, I would suppose, yeah? Whether it's a pitcher or a 55-gallon barrel or whatever it is.
Yeah, so the way it works at the moment, it's basically on a float system. So once it pumps out and the water drops, it kicks on to actually start filling it up again.
Right.
So there's actually not very much space at the top for that gas to accumulate, and then that just goes out into the air anyway. So it probably wouldn't be a problem in that case, but you just have to stagger your watering so that it would accumulate. That Brown's gas would actually start to be in there. But I just don't know how much of the gas actually just bubbles straight to the top, or does it actually, permeate through that water? There's a bit more learning needed for how I'm going to apply it.
Yeah. How much is that done through the bubbling effect, and how much of it is done through the surface absorption?
Yeah, and I've always thought about, keeping your water recirculated a little bit like that, vortexing. And I think that would be a brilliant thing to do anyway, just as a separate sort of function where you're pulling, say you've got a tank, you keep recirculating it and getting it to spin in a certain direction, and then, keeping that flowing. And I think that would energize the water that way as well.
I can't believe you don't have magnets mounted to your buffer tank you've got there anyway, and just you're not treating all that water as it comes right out.
Right.
I know.
Yeah,
letting the team down.
It's a real simple setup. Yeah.
Remind me again, Zach, what is that setup? Because there's probably a few places I need to use that with these little neodymium.
Yeah, there's different kinds. There's the ones where they use smaller magnets, and they'll have a couple, maybe 5 of them or so many of them around that smaller area. It's kind of like if you put 2 pop bottle or 2 liters together, and where the 2 openings, the tops, you connect those, that's where you would put your magnets in a series. And there's a couple different ways you can do it, but pretty much as the water's running through, it vortexes, and then that magnetism adds to it. And I've seen it with just 2 magnets, 1 on each side. So yeah, I'd look into it, but I don't think there's really a wrong way to do it, unless you flip the polarity maybe, which I don't even know if that would mess it up. I don't know, because you're still creating another pole there. So yeah, it's very interesting. A lot of them are just 2 magnets with things, a couple pieces of copper on the outside holding them, like a little sheath, and then 4 screws or nuts and bolts around the corners, and then you just attach it to your pipe. just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely need to do that for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I wish I'd have thought about all that when they were changing pipes under the house.
Yeah, for a lot of the garden stuff and that sort of plumbing, I pretty much do it myself. So it's all just agricultural plumbing, so it's quite easy to manipulate it around. Actually, a lot of my plumbing's like that. It's done it by myself with agricultural stuff. So, but it's pretty good still.
Yeah, the plants, I really don't notice much of a difference between the ones with the magnets on the bottom and the ones that don't yet. It's only been a couple weeks, you know. But I'm thinking that magnetic water is just as efficient as having the water or the magnets down there all the time. As of right now, that's what I'm seeing at least. I'm not seeing any real variation in size or the size of the leaves or anything like that.
We need to holler
but
at
I'll
Dom.
keep going.
I think a
back
quick way to actually test it would be with two different soil types. You want to find one that's like hydrophobic, which means it's resistant to water. You usually find them with the sandy soils, and I get that here. And you water it, and it won't actually permeate into the soil. It just sort of sits on top, and then you'd want to find one that actually soaks up that water. And that way you could test if it's more permeable, then it's going to be basically easier for the plant to take up. So if the magnetic water actually makes that more permeable to that hydrophobic soil, I think that would be a good way to tell.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, hashtag test it. That's all we can do.
That's it. Absolutely. Well, Allison, I noticed that you asked in chat about our little Wednesday get-togethers. We finally have started getting a few comers there coming to hang out with us, and definitely appreciate you guys, Allison, Robert, Connie. If by chance...
Don't forget about Liz.
Didn't I say Elizabeth to start it all with? I'm sorry if I didn't. I'm looking at trying to find a link here I was going to drop as well, and I can't really do it easily while I talk. Sorry. Yes, Liz was
a fucking animal when
she was like on fire, man. Right? She stayed up late and the whole 9 yards. So thank you all for being there. What we'll do is we'll drop a link. We're usually, I guess, I can't find the place to find this share. I'll do it sometime before the show's over.
If you check our show description, we should have some of the best ways to contact.
You do have it down there. There you go. Josh is ahead of the game. Josh is on it. So definitely, I know you were there, Liz. I'm sorry. I was trying to read and do too many things at once. So my apologies. But definitely, anyone that wants to come hang out with us is certainly welcome. You guys might actually show us how to produce a show sometime.
We've been on Telegram way before being on Telegram was cool.
Yeah.
So I try to share a link there, and I share a link in our Iron Scouts.
That's a good place to share it.
Chat room on Twitter. There's probably other places I could share it right now. That's kind of just the main places because I know that's where.
Right. Well, I usually throw it at Twitter if we're doing something, and because I know the scouts hang out there, but that's just because I'm old school and stuck in my ways. So yeah, Telegram would most likely be the best place to find it.
You really should head on over there, Walter, and make
I
sure
pop
you get
in
those
occasionally.
notifications.
I just forget because it's just not that kind of app for me in my head yet. I'll get there though.
I know.
That's where I found the link from TJ a couple weeks. I don't know. It's been a few weeks now.
Well, Crow 777 Rose has started a little chat room over there.
That's awesome.
There's like I said, there's a lot of things to be found on Telegram, I think, that weren't there when we
started just sharing files with it. Right, exactly. Yep. It has become a social platform. Well, it was kind of starting that way when we were talking with the Randonauts and that crew trying to get things together, grouping up their people. So it was definitely beginning to be a thing, which I guess I need to reach out to him. I had done that on the old channel, and then his book came out, and I'll reach out to Mr. Hutton and see if I can get him in here. Anyway, definitely it has grown and changed, and I need to get over there and stop being stuck in my old ways, as I tend to do way too much. Way too much. So,
yeah, it's.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Telegram can be a little unwieldy sometimes. It's a little strange, their setup. But
it's better than Discord.
It's better than Discord. And it's getting to be better than most of any other places too. Because we have like an Iron Realm Media channel on Telegram. And then from that, I have a chat room. So I can post things to the channel that you can like subscribe to and just get what's going on in that channel. And then when I post it to the channel, it goes straight to the chat room. So then if you're more interested in talking about what's going on with the channel, you can go subscribe to the chat room and then talk about there's lots of people in there. Doc Michael's in there. There's all sorts. Also all sorts in there.
All the good. That's where all the cool kids are.
I mean, we're no Code 777, but we are, it's still comparatively, for us, I'd say it all works out still.
Yep, I'm happy. I'm grinning. Oh, I don't have my camera off for kind of to see my smirk.
Speaking of cameras, why is Josh on the left today?
He's passing the Ducci on the left-hand side.
Well, usually I'm not even in the Skype call with my camera. My camera is usually put on through OBS, and I put my camera then next to the Skype call. And I just kind of try to line it up then with Walt, who I put on one side because he's usually on camera. And then I have Zach and Lucas, who are usually off camera. So I try to put them in the middle. So then I have one of us on camera on either side of Lucas and Zach in the middle. But the main reason for doing that was because I couldn't get my camera to show up on Skype. I would be just a little bitty window up on the sidebar. I couldn't pull mine down and move it around like I could with the others. So I just couldn't get my camera onto Skype to show it on OBS to put it to restream. But for some reason now Skype's letting me do it. So I said, well, there's no sense in me setting up another camera. But as I look,
apparently you've broken everybody. Liz is also saying she's used to me being on the left-hand side too. So we're gonna have to figure that out, I guess. I'll stand over here.
No, I think I can
do it.
Change is good. Change is cool.
Change is always good. Exactly.
It's the only constant.
Look. I was going to go move it, and now it's gone.
The Sailor Man chose.
And now I can't pull mine down and get back and get my camera back on there. That's really cool. Screw that. Here's what I can do.
Well, I'm in the dark, so my light broke again. So
you got to fix that.
I'll turn up for a second.
There he is. There we go. The man. The full package. There it is. Trust me, this should be reversed. Josh and I should get off camera and let you guys be on camera.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes they are. Sometimes Lucas is on in the morning.
He sneaks in when he's had a day of not too working himself to death. Yes, right. A shave. There you go. So if you're how many hours ahead of us, a day ahead of us, what time does your 5 o'clock shadow kick in? That's why I'm just fucking with you.
I shave before I get in the shower, and I've got an afternoon shadow before I get in.
After it's right.
Nah, it's not that bad. Feels like it. That was just a joke. It wasn't really.
It was a joke all the way around. Everybody, relax. Wow, we're done with this thing almost. Thank you for calling, Alice. Don't be a stranger.
I
do this again this afternoon.
Do what?
Let's say we're going to do this again this afternoon. We're going to open it up, get Tommy to call in if he has some time. Whoever else would like to, definitely. We'll drop a link over there on Telegram, and everybody can hop in with us.
Heck yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, how many can we get on Zoom at one time?
Like 100, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we can 100 it up.
So y'all better hurry up and get your spot quick.
I'm going to do it right now. I'm there. But we could do like Or maybe Tommy can throw this in one of his deals. You know how where they synced up all the scripted mainstream television, mainstream news deals that they're scripted. They've proven it's scripted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's, there's 100 of them all saying the same thing. We could do that too. This idea for this variety.
I like it.
Yes, me. Okay. I'm full of it. Ideas. I mean, I love you guys, all of y'all.
Love you, lady.
Don't be a stranger. All right.
Nor you.
Okay, cool. He's already got the clip. So, let's see. Let's sing us out. Ooh, 555. Nice. If you're happy and you know it, shout it's flat.
Oh, I clapped my hands. Damn it. So appropriate.
You know it's flat. Man.
Well, thank you, lady.
Your
Truly.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And thank you all in chat. It was good to have you all back. Tommy, shout out again with the super chat. And we will hopefully have time this afternoon. You have time to talk to us. I will have the link for that Flat Fellows channel. The Flat Earth Variety Show, 37 hours. Coming up.
Nice. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Love y'all.
Hope to see you right back here this afternoon for Have No Sphere. We will be pretty much doing the same thing. Like we said, we're going to open up the flat line.
What time?
We're aiming for 5-ish Central Time. I hate
So
to
roughly 11
pin us down too much because we're wild. We're feral. Can't pin us down. Anyway, we love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good weekend. We love you. Remember, despite the labels they want to slap on you, if you start out as a decent human being, those labels will get better. Be good. Be well. We love you.